The ones they call crazy will actually have the knowledge to survive this. So I got this right now, and breaking this down into the puzzle, you won't see this anywhere else because of how I'm going to break this down to you. They recently just escalated the time that the solar peak would cause blackouts, and now they're saying by end of year we should have this mass blackout scenario from the sun. Now remember, it doesn't matter if it's the sun or not. The storyline deepens because there's something even bigger behind that, because it becomes not just about the sun, it becomes about a global warfare that's going to be fought by militaries, and then they also have other tactics of invasion as well. So remember what they said here. And then if you look on screen, it's strange that they've been talking about an invasion because they had a movie they dropped called Blackout Invasion. So if you don't think that they show predictive programming, they show that for a reason. So I want to let you into the newest thing, and here's some of the preview of that movie, but I'm going to let you into some of the newest things that's coming out right now and why it's specifically being said. But secondly, since they're going to try this alien invasion tactic, which is really just going to be the military, now they're going to add something else into it. If aliens contact Earth, it may not be humans who get the call, says expert. Harvard professor of astronomy is predicting extraterrestrials will make contact with artificial intelligence before humans.
Yo, what the fuck am I looking at right now, bro? What the fuck? Nah, this don't look right, dog. This don't look right, dog.
So wow, what do you think that is? I want to see in the comments, is that blue beam or is that something that is of HARP nature? Let me see what you said in the comments here, and then I have looked deeper into this for everybody here so that we can understand this even more deeper, because this becomes a scenario where it has to be something to do with maybe CERN, in my opinion, or HARP, but I can go into data and evidence of how they use twisted beams in the atmosphere, and you can look at this on screen here. It's a pencil beam that has a twisted beam. They have multiple types, and when you look into it here, you read at the bottom, says the HARP antenna producing a normal beam with the highest intensity at the center at the top. So what do they do with these beams? Well, they excite the atmosphere. They change the atmospheric patterns. These experiments cause much heating to happen in the ionosphere as well. So when we look and see twisted beams or beams like that in the atmosphere, it could only be HARP, or it can only be maybe CERN. My opinion is HARP on this one, because it details everything that I just read to you in the story. So okay, let's go back to this. Why would this story come out just recently now? And it's because they have to add in the AI, because now when you say that, you're able to bring out different things that basically you have classified, basically robots and artificial intelligence, which you can then add into the bigger picture of this fake invasion tactic, because it's not going to be actually, you know, things that exist like these beings that they're saying that exist. I'm not saying that they don't exist, but I'm saying they're going to be staging a lot of this, and so they can pull out all the military gear, all the equipment. Now they can add the AI in with the false invasion agenda, which deepens the crisis even more. So the thing is, though, when you know this knowledge, it makes you much more powerful into the future, so that you don't fall for the deception and the psyop. Because as crazy as the reality gets, we only get smarter as it gets more crazier. You and I only become more connected in this ever-going crisis of just dystopian nightmares. And it seems like at the finest moments of this, it creates the most modified type of scenario that we could see through, and we become connected. So the thing is like, when you look at this, is also the invasion thing I wanted to show you, the secret invasion. This is another thing they came out with. This is recently though. So they're coming out with more of propaganda, predictive programming. Now it's secret invasion, and they had the blackout invasion, which blackout invasion really is the big symbol of what they're actually pushing for. So I think they need that blackout for a specific reason. And I was talking about that yesterday, how CERN is like basically going to do this ritual. They say 2025, but it could be even sooner. So we want to go into something else though that's really highly important that you need to know, and it's the fact that the scenario that's looming also has to do with this super volcano. So this super volcano has had hundreds and hundreds of pretty much disturbances in the last recent days. And according to the published journal Communication and Earth Environment, molten rock and volcano gases would be launched into high atmosphere, potentially plunging the planet into a lengthy global winter if this thing really starts to take off. They've already put protocols in place for evacuation plans, and that's currently if it goes on yellow alert. Now right now I'm not sure if it's on yellow alert, but as right now what we can read you is the study was carried out by National Institute of Geophysics, Volcanology and University College London. Lead author Professor Christopher Kilburn revealed our new study confirmed that Camp Fagre, however you say it, is moving closer to rupture. So it's moving closer to rupture, and they say that it would have these tall freaking tsunamis that also would come across not just over there in Italy, would come across western United States. Now this reminds you of that map that came out, and they said if Mount Pelee and in Italy volcano erupted, Mount Etna, the United States map that you're seeing right now will become the model for why they say the West Coast would be hit with tsunamis and all this other stuff, because it would be this super volcano which would cause a huge scenario. So as we move further through this whole escalated crisis, that's another thing in the background. And the big question is, how are you going to eat? How are you going to do all that stuff? Now, the easiest thing anybody can do is a $20 Coleman stove with butane that I use. I've traveled all across America with it, and actually it gives me, I use it a lot actually, and you know, the butane lasts for a good amount of time. So I mean, it could last me up to a month or more if I'm just using it like basically not every single not like 3 times a day. Maybe I'm using like 3 times within like 3 days after like a trip, maybe 4 times and something like that. But it lasts a good amount of time is what I'm trying to say here, and that is going to be highly needed whenever you can't eat. And it's another big thing that people should have. It's an app called Picture This, where you can go out, you can literally identify plants, and after you compile your database, you can screenshot all of them and you can go back and look. The great thing though is it helps you in the mind. You mentally are able to understand more about what you're actually getting out there, and you can identify plants off the top of your head. Because in these crises that's looming, we have to be willing to see what's really happening, because once this so-called internet diminishes, how are you going to react? The thing is, satellite phones would be very important, and not many of us would have them in that moment. So you got to ask yourself the next question. If you don't have that satellite phone, have you set up protocols for your family to contact you? Can you say, hey, if I'm not here, I'm gonna write something on the wall, and you come over here at this time, this date, or whenever, and then you'll know where I'm at. It all begins in 2023. What am I talking about? That's exactly what you're about to find out today in this video once we reveal what's coming. You were meant to be here, and you have a duty in this reality. A company veers into the atmosphere that literally burn up, just like meteors, just like stars, are set to launch operations in our skies in 2023. This company envisions staging shows for big events, artificial skies. They don't admit that they want to do Project Bluebeam, but that is a larger operation to be spoke of. The things you will learn today, you're going to walk away from this and have a reality changing effect in multiple people's lives. But first, who are these people behind these operations that are going to be coming to our world? You're about to find out. I did some deep diving for you. I looked into the CEO of this company, and guess what I found? She is very well connected. She works